Our fourth and final phase, and so the last part to look at for LO1, is evaluation. So in evaluation, the last part of our project, we have already got our product, the product we are delivering to a user, which was made during execution. So we've got our product, and now we can actually, in this phase, give it, hand it over maybe physically or virtually, hand it over to the user. We are also going to create what is known as user documentation and also give it to the user. And finally, we're going to reflect on how the project went overall. So let's talk about these step by step. In fact, so we have made our product and now we can give it to the user. We've also got some test results as an input to this phase. So we can use the test results to prove to the user that actually you have met all of the requirements properly. You have passed all of their tests. And after we finish the phase, we can actually give, in particular, the product, but also the test results to the user. And of course, the end of this phase signals the end of the project as well. In terms of what the user documentation is, which is one of our outputs, which are given to the user as well. So user documentation are effectively guides which will help the user be able to use the product. So things like a user manual, so some instruction guide telling the user how to use their product, how to use the train, or how to use the website. Other things like how do you install it, so some instructions saying how you can install your new computer system, how can you install the new LED display, if that's what you're making. And also things like maybe how to fix any potential errors. Inevitably with IT products, things go wrong from time to time, but usually they can be fixed quite easily. The people making the product will know what potential errors could occur, and they can provide some instructions to help the user fix them in the future. Because ideally, if you're doing the project, if you are the project manager, you don't particularly want to be continuing to work on this product in the future. You were just paid to create the product and deliver it. You don't want to have to come back in weeks and months' time to fix any issues. You'd rather just leave it and give it to the user to manage themselves. And this documentation will support them to do it on their own. So once we've given over our deliverable and our documentation, we can finalize our project by creating a final evaluation report. So really good practice making a report like this, and really this report is like a phase review but not actually for a phase. Instead now it's for the entire project, so not just for evaluation, looking back at all of our phases to reflect and see what went well, what didn't go well, so we can improve for next time. So sort of questions which will be asked and answered in this report are, was the user satisfied with the product being created? Were they happy when you gave it to them, released it to them? Were they pleased that their requirements and constraints were treated appropriately? Had they been met? You'll also think about, from your own project management perspective, how did the execution phase compare to your planning phase? Were your Gantt charts and PERT charts and flow charts, etc., were they wasted? Did you actually follow the plan you set out and spent time on during planning? Maybe your plan wasn't very detailed. Maybe, in reality, it wasn't really very easy to use. Maybe for next time you have to make a more detailed plan. You'd also consider, do we need to actually maintain the product in the future? I said ideally you would kind of be finished at this point, but maybe there is some agreement in the future for you to still be involved in some way. Maybe you are going to create an update to the website, say, in the future. You'll need to start considering this and what steps you may need to do. And we'll also think about the decisions we made as a project manager. Were, say, the staff we hired, were the tools we used beneficial to the project? Could we have used better tools? Could we have hired someone better? And the main summary is, what can we do differently next time? If you are a professional project manager, you are doing projects all the time, back to back, and you want to learn for next time, if there were any issues, how can we address them so the next time they are no longer going to become issues for us?